Hi, this is Mike Stiles, and this is This Week in the Metaverse, your weekly newscast that keeps you up to date on everything that isn't real and yet is. Sounds ominous. Subscribe now so you'll know what's coming. It's April 18th. Let's see what happened this week. Do we really want crypto to replace our system of green Benjamins, Jeffersons, and Lincolns? How about putting it to a vote? That sure seems like a really decentralized way of determining what the real level of interest for crypto is, but that's not going to be on the ballot in November when you go out to turn in all your fake votes. So we have to look at smaller votes, votes like the one the editors at Wikipedia just took. The question was, should the Wikimedia Foundation stop accepting crypto donations? And even though it got about $130,000 in crypto donations in the most recent fiscal year, they voted yes to not taking it anymore. Now, here's why they don't really care. Those crypto donations represented less than 0.1% of overall donations last year. The Wikimedia Foundation does really, really well. One voting opponent said cryptocurrencies are extremely risky investments that have only been gaining popularity among retail investors. I don't think we should be endorsing their use. But here's the good news if you don't like that vote. You can just edit the entry about it on Wikipedia. Let's stick with the theme of finding out what people think. Not that anyone cares what anyone thinks unless it fits a cognitive bias. Digiday gathered together some findings from some recent reports to find out what typical consumers think of this whole Metaverse thing. You aren't typical because you listen to this podcast. You're smarter than the average virtual bear. But most people still don't know what the Metaverse is. 38% of Americans say they're very or somewhat familiar, and most of those are from households with kids. Only 18% of brand marketing and analytics executives understand the Metaverse and how it might impact them. A quarter of consumers have shopped online in a 3D virtual store, but only 38% of respondents said they'd like to be able to shop in the Metaverse. Gamers are the first residents of the Metaverse and are fine with virtual spaces, but they're still pretty wary of Web3 technologies, especially NFTs in games. However, only 12% fully knew what NFTs even were. So don't worry, audience, we are still on the very cutting edge. Meta's working on a web version of its VR platform Horizon Worlds. What that means is you'll be able to jump into the Metaverse without having to own or wear a Quest VR headset, although obviously it's a much different experience. Remember, Zuck's company had already decided they're going to take a King George-size 47.5% cut of all sales done in Horizon Worlds. So your virtual lemonade stand better charge 50 cents a cup instead of 25. The company's CTO said, "We're making good on our goal to ensure developers have a path to real financial success on our platform. We continue to partner closely with our creators and developers to enable them to earn meaningful revenue so we can then take it from them." I added that last part. They aren't that bad at press releases. They're thinking making Horizon available on the web and then later also on mobile and then maybe game consoles even later. Total sales will be so high that creators will be happy with the arrangement. You know, like how neighborhood markets were happy with their arrangement with the Gambino family. Twitter's in the news a lot lately. Isn't it nice when everybody wants you? But aside from the Musk takeover story, there's the Jack Dorsey story. He's the founder of Twitter, you know. And as founder, he got to send out the very first tweet, and then he banned it because it could be interpreted by someone as hate speech. No, that didn't happen. It went through just fine. In fact, now that first tweet was turned into an NFT. And that NFT was bought by an Iranian-born entrepreneur for $2.9 million about a year ago. How do people make so much money they can make a purchase like that? Don't ask me. I shop at Walmart. But he had the money even though two of his companies collapsed and he was arrested in Iran. Now he's trying to sell it. His asking price was $48 million, and he promised to give half the proceeds to charity. Well, apparently NFT buyers hate charity because there were only 7 offers, and the highest was the equivalent of $277. He's waiting for a better deal. Never let it be said the Metaverse doesn't offer great opportunities. Now you can buy an NFT that gives you the right to do a lot of work and not get paid for it. Hold on, don't line up just yet. At least let me tell you what the opportunity is. It's a chance to write Archie comics. You remember Archie and his pal Jughead, the town dickweed Reggie, and those emotionally destructive ladies Betty and Veronica? Their lives could be in your hands. Here's how it works. You buy the NFT, then you're allowed into a private forum with other buyers where you'll discuss ideas for the gang, and if the comic editors hear a good one, you get the honor of having it stolen from you. Imagine the pride/shame you'll have telling your friends you spent $66.66 to become a victim. You do get a story credit, so at least you can prove that this really happened to you, which is more than I got when George Lucas stole my idea for Space Fight. Well, you knew it was going to happen, so this story should be no surprise. Coinbase Entertainment is working on a motion picture featuring the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs. Sounds like Planet of the Apes meets Below Deck Mediterranean. Not only that, it's going to be a trilogy of films, whether anyone likes the first one or not. And get this, you Bored Ape owners can submit your Bored Ape NFTs to the website dgentrilogy.com, and your ape might get chosen to be in the movie. Usually you have to finance a film or sleep with a producer to get into show business. The idea is not only to make a few films, it's to further illustrate to the world how cool the collaborative nature of Web3 is. Now, if you submit your Bored Ape and then submit an idea to Archie Comics that Betty is attacked and torn apart by Bored Apes, you might get twice the fame. That's what we've got for you this week. Subscribe to the show, tell other people about it wherever you converse online, and we'll be here next week.